What's up, people? This is Brewing Daddy at it again. We're about to bottle up some West Coast Radical Red by Northern Brewer. We're also going to open up one and we're going to taste it and show what it looks like as a finished beer. So let's get it. We're ready to bottle up our brew. So what we got here is we got 5 gallons already filled with water and some of this BTF Ida 4. It's a liquid sanitizer, my favorite to use. Doesn't really have an odor, pretty safe to use without any protection on your hands. And some say it stains up your stuff, but I haven't had any issues with it. But that's what we're using. We've already washed all of our bottles here. Our bottles were washed in a hot soapy bath, and we used a bottle brush on them to clean them up so they're nice and clean. They just got to soak in our bucket here. So we're gonna get ready to put them in here, and we got to let them sit for 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll take them out and let them air dry. All right, so we're gonna get our bottles down in the water, let them soak for 3 or 4 minutes. Very important step in the process. We want to sanitize our bottles to allow the remaining yeast there to carbonate our beer for us. We got to sanitize so we can tantalize the taste buds with our brews. So we're sanitizing. One thing about a 5-gallon bucket I like is with these 1-gallon batches, you can get exactly 12 bottles in your 5-gallon bucket, which is awesome. And all your equipment. And when I bottle, I always brew afterwards. So the sanitation solution that I'm using is always pretty clean because it's just bottles that have already been cleaned. And my bottling filler and tube. And my caps, don't forget to put your caps in there as well. So I got 12 caps down on the bottom here. With your tubing you want to make sure you get it all in there and all the air bubbles come out, and you depress the end of your bottling filler. So when you got it in there, you just want to push it down and then just get all your tubing underwater, letting the air bubbles come out. Because you want that tubing to be sanitized. While we took a break, we cracked open a previous brew. This is a good old cream ale. Tasty, tasty. Nothing like drinking them while you're brewing them. But anyways, we need to empty out our bottles. And we're just gonna set them up here on the table. I like to have a towel out just to get up all the fluids. Don't want to make a mess, you know. The wife fusses at me enough about making a mess. In my little brewing cave, I try to keep it as clean as possible. We're going to empty all these out. They've been in here for way more than 3 or 4 minutes, but we'll can't leave them in there too long. I ain't going to hurt them. I'm just gonna let these air dry while we get our fermenter ready to go. And we'll be bottling up our West Coast Red. That's what we got in the fermenter, so we're gonna be bottling that up today. I'll bottle up what's in one, I'll clean it, and then I'll brew the same day, and I'm able to reuse this sanitizer. It saves a little bit of money. It's not that expensive, but it still saves you some money. Saves some time, you know, if you already got it made up. All right, we got our bottling tube here. We're gonna drain all the fluid out of it. So just hold up one end of it, and then on the other end just to press it down. Use the inside of the bucket if you want, and just let all that sanitizer run through it. And that looks good. And then we got our caps in here we need to get out. We're all cleaned up with the bottles. So I'm gonna get our fermenter, we'll get set up, and then we'll get started filling these bad boys up. So I attached my tubing onto my fermenter here. I like to remove my airlock because it helps the flow a little bit better to get everything flowing into the bottle. So I'll remove that. Just set it aside there. When I move these, I try to let them sit for a little bit so that it doesn't stir everything up, but you know, if you're crunched for time, there ain't a whole lot you can do about it. This is a little trick I like to use to get my fermenter elevated up so I can create some flow to get the beer down in the bottle. But this West Coast Red, we're gonna bottle it up now. So go ahead and turn on our spigot. Let that stuff fill up the tube. Looks like it's flowing good. I'm gonna just depress it and get it going. The higher up you can elevate your fermenter, the better. You get better pressure. It might take you some time this way. You see, I don't know if you can see from the camera or not, but it's about half full already. I like to put my fizz drops in afterwards. Some folks put them in at the beginning of the bottle before they put the beer in. But I like to do it afterwards. And we should get right at 12 bottles out of this. The last little bit we'll have to tilt, that last bottle or so, we'll have to tilt the fermenter, and it gets a little trickier then. But it's very doable. It's worth it for the extra beer. All right, so that's 2 down and 10 more to go. All right, but we'll go ahead and fill these up, and we'll be right back once they're all full, and we'll start putting fizz drops in them and start capping them. All right, we got all of our bottles filled up. Just got a little bit of sludge left there, so we got the maximum amount to get out of it. We're using fizz drops. These are actually some leftover fizz drops from other recipes. I try to use them up first. Do the fizz drops now, 1 in each bottle. Don't look like a full one. Sometimes they're a little hard to push in. And other times they just drop right in. This is a good option. Otherwise, you'd have to have a bottling bucket, and you'd need to put priming sugar in your bottling bucket with your wort and get it. They don't always want to go in so easy, so you might have to break off a little piece of it. They're not the perfect shape. Most of the time, they just drop right in. But 1 fizz drop per bottle. They give you in a 1 gallon recipe, Northern Brewer, they'll give you about 20. So you'll have, every time you buy a 1 gallon, you're gonna have like 8 extra of these. So we're ready to start capping. So we'll take our caps that we sanitized here, and we'll get going here. Just center it on your capper. And it kind of, you can feel it when it goes down. Pull down both levers. go. Perfectly capped beer. Gotta do that 11 more times. So let's keep going. And you don't have to have it perfectly centered. It actually self-centers when you're putting it on and pulling down on it. Now don't pull down too hard. Be firm with it. Don't pull down too hard. You don't want to break your bottle. You can feel it if it's not on there right. I'm using black bottle cap, so this West Coast red, just because I probably would use red if I had red. But I don't have red right now, so I like to use different colors because that way you can tell what's in them. Currently I don't have anything in the bottle right now that's black, so I know these guys are West Coast red. Now, if you start bottling up too much, then you forget what the heck you bottled. And you get old like me, that can happen. You start forgetting, oh hell, what is this? Until you pour it out and figure out what it is. That's a mystery beer. Ain't nothing wrong with mystery beer, as long as it tastes good. All right, last one. Now, these guys are gonna go, I'm gonna put them back in the original box. I keep my boxes. I try to keep my fermenters and my bottles in a dark area so that the fermentation process goes a little bit better when it's not in the room with a lot of sunlight. So these will get transferred into the box, and in about 2 weeks they're going to be ready to crack open, and we're going to see what they look like. We'll see what our West Coast Red looks like in 2 weeks. We got our West Coast Radical Red here, nice and fridge chilled. And we got us a frosted glass. We're about to crack this baby open, see what it looks like, see what it tastes like, and see if we did a good job of brewing this one. So here goes. A little bit of a hiss, not like I'd expect, but looks like it's a pretty clear brew. Got some suds, definitely got some strong carbonation. A little bit darker color, not too much of a head on it, but still got some good carbonation. Smells good. Kind of got like a fruity smell to it. It's fruity hops. Not bad, not bad at all. It's not, it smells more hoppy than it tastes. It tastes kind of mild on the hop side. Pretty smooth beer though. That's a good one. That's a good sipping beer there for sure. West Coast Radical Red by Northern Brewer. Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this one. It turned out nice. We appreciate you joining us while we bottle this West Coast Radical Red by Northern Brewer. And while we opened it up and sampled it for you, please like our channel, subscribe, share us, visit our website, brewingdaddy.com. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Peace out, people.